The bright lights of the Hollywood studio beamed down like artificial suns, casting a professional yet warm glow over the vibrant set. In the air hung a palpable sense of excitement, a mixture of nervous energy and the sweet scent of new beginnings. This was the place where memories were made and where the secrets of domestic bliss, or the lack thereof, were shared with the world. From the heart of Hollywood, the iconic theme music began to swell, signaling the start of another delightful afternoon. It was time for the Newlywed Game. Behind the podiums stood 4 couples, each representing a different stage of the early days of marriage. There was an unmistakable sparkle in their eyes, the kind that only exists when 2 lives have recently become one. Couple number 1 consisted of Margie and David Foster, who had been united in matrimony for only 6.5 weeks. They were still in the very heart of the honeymoon phase, their every glance toward one another filled with a fresh, almost electric affection. Next to them stood couple number 2, Jackie and Patrick McNeil. Having been married for 8 months, they carried themselves with a slightly more settled confidence, though the playful teasing between them suggested that the flame of their romance was burning as bright as ever. Couple number 3 was represented by Leslie and Jeff Lantry, married for 2.5 months, their smiles wide and ready for the challenge. Finally, matching them in time served, were Anne and Rich Khan, couple number 4, who had also shared 2.5 months of wedded life. As the applause of the live audience reached a crescendo, the star of the show made his grand entrance. Bob Eubanks stepped onto the stage with a practiced ease and a welcoming smile that had comforted countless nervous contestants over the years. "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much," Bob began, his voice echoing with genuine warmth. "Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Newlywed Game." He turned toward the 4 couples, his eyes twinkling with the promise of the fun to come. "Let us say hi to our 4 couples. Are you ready to play the game?" "Yes." The couples responded in unison, their voices filled with an enthusiastic spirit that filled the studio. "We are so glad you are with us today," Bob continued, moving the show along with seamless professionalism. "We are going to start the show off by asking the husbands some questions, which means that we are going to have to ask the ladies to go off to our soundproof room. So, ladies, if you would, please, you are excused." As the 4 wives stood up and began to make their way toward the back of the set, Bob turned his attention back to the husbands. The atmosphere shifted slightly, becoming a bit more informal, like a group of friends gathering to share stories over a backyard fence. "And while the ladies are leaving, I would like to remind our husbands, I will be asking you some 5-point questions. You will be answering these questions as you predict your wife will answer the same question when she returns. If her answer matches your prediction, you then get 5 points. And remember, it is the one couple with the most points at the end of the show that wins a great second honeymoon." The ladies had vanished behind the heavy doors of the soundproof room, leaving the 4 men alone with Bob and the expectant audience. Bob looked at his cards, a mischievous glint in his eye as he prepared to deliver the first inquiry of the day. "The ladies are gone," he noted. "Gentlemen, I have got questions for you, and here they are. Gentlemen, who will your wife say is in the mood for a quickie more often, you or her?" A wave of light laughter rippled through the audience. Bob turned first to Rich Khan. Rich let out a nervous chuckle, his shoulders shaking slightly as he thought about the dynamics of his young marriage. "Ha ha, ha ha," Rich laughed. "Ha. Probably her. I am usually preoccupied with a lot of other things." Bob nodded understandingly, a sympathetic smile on his face. "Yes, I understand. Work and things." He moved on to Jeff Lantry. Jeff did not hesitate, his answer coming out with a certainty that suggested he had given this some thought before. "Absolutely her," Jeff said. "She is?" Bob asked, leaning in. "Oh, yeah. No kidding." "Well, we are on such opposite schedules," Jeff explained, painting a picture of their daily lives. "She is more awake during the day, and I am asleep, so." "I got you," Bob replied, then turned his gaze toward Patrick McNeil. "Okay, Patrick." "Definitely me," Patrick said with a grin. "It is you." "It is me. She is always grading papers. She is a teacher, and I was hoping that she is grading papers, yeah," Bob joked, earning another round of laughter from the crowd. Finally, he reached David Foster. David. Me, David said, his voice brimming with confidence. I am ready to go at any time. You are, yeah, Bob noted with a dry wit. Yeah, well, try to control yourself for the next half hour, will you? The host moved quickly to the next question, keeping the pace of the show lively and engaging. Gentlemen, what will your wife say she was wearing the last time she modeled something for you that you really did not like at all? What was she wearing, Jeff, the last time she modeled something for you that you did not like at all? Jeff scratched his chin, searching his memory for a specific fashion faux pas. Probably a white jumpsuit, he recalled. A white jumpsuit you did not like. Yeah, it was really baggy. Baggy, yeah. Did not show her off very well. No, of course not, Bob agreed. Patrick, what about you? A blue sweater vest, Patrick answered immediately. It belonged to her father. It was baggy. It was old, and a blue sweater vest. Okay, Bob recorded the answer and moved to David. David. A pink and black dress she was wearing. I just did not like it, David stated simply. Did not like the pink and black dress. Okay, Rich. Rich seemed a bit more contemplative about this one. The outfit she was going to wear for the show. I just did not like it. She was really nervous about what she was going to wear. It was I cannot really remember exactly. It was a green top. It had some designs on it. Green top with designs on it she was going to wear for the show, Bob summarized. Yeah. All right, fine. Here is the last of our 5-point questions. The host paused for a moment, letting the anticipation build. This question felt a bit more personal, a bit more daring, yet it was grounded in the human experience of past relationships and the protective nature of love. Gentlemen, how will your wife say you would complete this sentence? This is you talking. I know that my wife was once really romantic with blank, but if I were a woman, I would not let that creep get his hands on me for sure. Give me a first name only, please. He started with Patrick, but David Foster was quick to jump in with a name that seemed to be at the tip of his tongue. David, David said, referring to someone else with the same name. You are a woman, you would not let that creep get his hands on you, huh? Bob asked. Not at all, David confirmed. Do you know him? Bob inquired. No, David replied. Bob turned to the other David. David. Rick, David answered. A different David, I hope, Bob remarked, looking at the contestant. Yeah. Oh, he is okay. Scared me. He looked like he was going to reach over and slap you and I just, Who is it, David? Rick, David repeated. Rick. Yeah, ex-boyfriend. I figured that part, yeah. Creep, huh? Creep, David affirmed. Really? Yeah. You know him? Bob asked. Yes. Oh, creep. Yes, big time, David said with feeling. Rich was next. Rich. Mike, Rich said, his voice dropping slightly as if sharing a quiet confidence. Mike. Yes. Oh, sorry. It is sad. I am so sorry it is sad, yeah, Bob responded with a touch of theatrical empathy. Jeff. Jimmy, Jeff said. Bad. Oh, bad Jimmy. Nothing like me. Of course not, Bob agreed. All right, gentlemen, thank you. We will be right back to reunite our newlyweds. We will see how well our husbands have predicted what their wives will say right after these messages. The studio transitioned into a commercial break, the screens across the country filling with the festive spirit of the season. A special tribute was announced. This Christmas, Betty is back. In a big way. We are celebrating our 7th annual Betty White Christmas and Betty is 100th Christmas with lots of fresh episodes. The hemorrhoids is what our sons have. We wish you a Betty White Christmas starting December 20th only on Buzzer. The tone then shifted to a more practical matter of health and security. Joe Montana, the legendary quarterback, appeared on the screen with a message of wisdom. Hi, I am Joe Montana. When you get to be 65, you have little patience for nonsense and inefficiency. You know what works, and you become a pro at pretty much everything. That is why when I qualified for Medicare, I went with WellCare. With no cost or low monthly premium plans and no primary care or prescription copays, they are pros at helping you keep more money in your pocket. The advertisement continued, detailing the various benefits of the plan, from over-the-counter allowances for everyday items like toothpaste and cold remedies to flex cards for dental, vision, and hearing expenses. It was a message of reliability and care, delivered by a man who knew the value of a good call. As the commercials ended, a series of rhythmic beeps filled the air, a modern heartbeat of information and technology, before transitioning into a montage of lifestyle products. Hungry Root promised a full refrigerator and an end to grocery store stress. Chic's performance sheets offered the promise of a cool, dry, and restful night's sleep, highlighting the importance of well-being. Back in the studio, the energy was higher than ever. The wives had returned from the soundproof room and were now seated beside their husbands, ready to see if their perceptions aligned. "Gentlemen, we have recorded your predictions on cards," Bob announced. "You now have them flat on your laps. Each time that your prediction matches your wife's answer, you get 5 points. One couple with the most points at the end of the show wins that great second honeymoon." He turned to the women, his voice brimming with excitement. "So, ladies, I am so excited about these questions and we are so glad you are back. Here is our first one. Ladies, who is in the mood for a quickie more often, you or your husband?" Margie Foster was the first to speak, a playful smile on her face. "Oh, this one is so easy." "Is it?" Bob asked. "I like long and luxurious.